It was a tranquil Sunday evening, the kind that leaves no room for distraction when the noise of the week finally settles, and you can no longer lie to yourself. One moment, one careless sentence, was all it took to unravel the life I had built with a man I once called my soulmate. I didn't mean to hurt him. I didn't even know he was there. But he heard everything. My closest friend, Sarah, had come over for a casual glass of wine. We sat in the living room, wrapped in the soften of evening, the air thick with comfort and fatigue. I believe Nathan, my husband, was upstairs tinkering in the storage room. The wine loosened my restraint, and before long, months of tension came spilling out. The arguments, the silence, the slow erosion of tenderness that had once held us together. I don't know, Sarah. I sighed, rubbing my temples. Some days I wish I hadn't married him. The words hung between us, heavier than air. A chill rippled through me the instant they escaped. Sarah's eyes widened. You don't mean that. But did I? Part of me didn't. Yet part of me did, out of exhaustion, not hatred. When love starts to feel like duty, and duty begins to taste like regret, confusion becomes your constant companion. Unseen by me, Nathan was standing on the stairs, frozen, absorbing every syllable. The next morning, something was wrong. The coffee maker was untouched. His keys were missing. His boots were gone. I thought he had simply left early for work, but the uneasy quiet told me otherwise. Nathan never left without a goodbye kiss, not even after our worst fights. By noon, I called his phone. No answer. I texted. Silence. Desperate, I opened my laptop to email him, only to see one unread message waiting in my inbox. The subject line read, "Farewell. I overheard you last night." The message began. I wasn't meant to, but I did. Those words weren't spoken in anger. They were your truth, and that truth shattered me. I poured my entire soul into us. And all this time, you've been carrying this regret. Don't look for me. The divorce papers are already filed. I'm not bitter. I just refuse to be someone's regret. Nathan, my heart stuttered. There was no anger in his words. No plea, no explanation, just quiet finality. I drove to his office, hoping it was some cruel misunderstanding. But his desk was empty. His resignation had been processed that morning. His phone was disconnected by afternoon. His social media wiped clean. Friends knew nothing. His brother simply said Nathan needed space and didn't want to be found. It was as if he had vanished from the world. Days later, the divorce papers arrived, crisp, impersonal, already signed. I was just another signature needed to close the chapter. No argument, no discussion. Just an ending. I waited for anger, but it never came. Only guilt. Crushing, relentless guilt. Memories flooded back. The early years when he'd look at me like I was the only person in the room. His patience when I withdrew. His quiet strength when I faltered. And that last dinner, days before everything fell apart, he had looked tired, but he was still trying. He was still there. I was the one who had already left. Sleep became impossible. I replayed that moment with Sarah 1,000 times, asking myself why I'd said it. Did I mean it? Or was it just the sound of my exhaustion echoing through the cracks of a marriage I hadn't tried hard enough to save? Months passed. I hired a private investigator. Nothing. No trace. No address. No bank activity. Nathan had erased himself completely. And slowly, I began to understand why. He hadn't left out of spite. He left to preserve the last of his dignity. To escape being the man his wife quietly regretted marrying. Hearing the truth, unfiltered and unguarded, was the one wound he couldn't forgive. Now, sometimes, I wonder where he is, whether he's happy, whether he's found someone who wakes up every morning and sees him as the best decision they ever made. Because I know now, that's exactly what he was to me. But realization doesn't undo damage. Words once spoken cannot be taken back. Nathan walked away to find peace. And I'm left here, haunted by the echo of my own careless truth.